One is day 8. Tell a funny story or a funny joke. Okay, so, you know when you're having a conversation with someone and all of a sudden they're, as they're telling their story, you think of a funny story and it just pops in your head just from the conversation that you're having. It just sparks this memory and then you like share a funny story and then you're like, oh my goodness, I remember this funny story. I don't know if it's because that we're not doing that. We're having to come up with this funny story on our own, that I'm drawing like complete blank. Like my mind is like, I have no idea. Can't even think of a joke. Like, why did the chicken cross the road? Get to the other side. Horrible. Pretend you didn't hear that. Okay. So I figured I would tell you this funny story. But then I realized this would have worked good with the embarrassing story as well, because yeah, it was quite funny. So both my parents are from Ontario and I was born in Alberta. So in the summer times, me and my mom would usually go back to Ontario and go to visit. And so we would travel on a bus because it was the cheapest way to go. Sometimes we took trains, but most times we took a bus. And it would take about 3 days, 2.5 days to 3 days to get there. And so we'd be on this bus for a while. People would come and go, things like that, right? So, but we would be on this bus for like 3 days. So on this bus ride, we realized we always used to talk about different. So while we were on this bus ride, we would do many things to entertain ourselves. One of them being, sometimes we would like tell stories, or my mom would tell me stories. I would ask my mom questions. Like, I think most things that I know about my family is from these bus rides. Sometimes my mom would take this time to teach me a little bit of the language. I know how to count to 10 from being on this bus ride journey every summer. And so one time we were on this bus and we were talking about the vendors, you know, like the people selling things on the side of the street. And in Ontario, there's a lot of blueberries, so people go blueberry picking and then they get like these baskets of big blueberries and they sell them. And we were talking about getting blueberries, and I don't even know how this conversation started. It might have been I saw someone and we talked about blueberries, I don't know. Anyways, and so I said to my mom, why would you want to buy blueberries off the side of the road? How do we know that the people who are picking them wash their hands? I think it's a valid question, right? Because I think if you look at germs and the reason why you have to wash your hands after touching things, it's because I still know people they'll talk about washing their hands and then have gone either into the bathroom with them, you know, in the stalls, and like wash their hands and going, you didn't wash your hands. Basically wet your hands with water. Yeah, knowing like, okay, I know I need to like clean up when I touch things. I'm not really a germaphobe. Really, I'm not, but okay, maybe I'm a little bit. But so yeah, so my mom was like, yeah, like, you know, of course they washed your hands. So as we're talking normal voice tone, and the bus is talking because, you know, there's people around us talking really loud and things like that. So there's a lot of noise happening around us. So we're just talking back and forth, like sitting next to each other. And I kid you not, the moment my mom starts to say this, the whole bus like quiets. I mean, literally, it's like right out of a scene of a movie. The bus like comes to like a complete, like you could have heard a pin drop. And my mom says to me, well, you know when someone touches their penis? And like literally, like we heard the silence, and like people looked at us, we looked at the people, we looked at each other, and then the whole bus burst out laughing. This probably would have worked with the embarrassing story. This probably could have. And we just started laughing, and it was so hilarious. Like, it was one of those laughs that I couldn't breathe. I kid you not. I was laughing so hard because she was laughing, so I was laughing, and then we laughed so hard, and like to the point where after this had happened, I had to go to the bathroom like right away because I was gonna pee my pants. Like, we were laughing that hard. It was pretty funny. and embarrassing. Well, I wasn't embarrassed, so I guess it wasn't my story to share, but my mom was embarrassed. But I think what she was basically trying to say was that they wash their hands or whatever, or basically treat everything like you treat anything. Before you eat it, make sure you wash it. I think that might have been it. I don't know. Anyways, we never got to the point because we never got over laughing. The most funniest joke that I've heard, and it's still one that gives me a chuckle every now and then, is this joke that I heard while I was attending a powwow. There's traditional powwows and competitive powwows. And yeah, they happen and we get together. There's drummers, there's dancers, there's different type of dancing. You have different types of dances as well. There's children, there's adults, everything to seniors, and then they have like male and female, and yeah. So anyways, I was at this powwow. And when you have a powwow, you have drummers and you have an MC that usually coordinates, who's going next, or an MC that kind of like almost like entertains you while like in between while they're shifting around and stuff, and like calls out like who's next and things. And so normally MCs are known for being pretty quick-witted and pretty funny themselves. And I guess in context of why this is funny is just because it was like based on truth, I guess. And I guess a little bit of history. So if you don't know about the Native American history in North America, which is Canada and the US, you know that like when colonization happened, land was taken from the natives, either forcefully, sometimes not even fraudulently, like people forced people's signatures. Sometimes people come to the community and like pick out one person who would like show up and he would like sign away all the land for the whole tribe. And people be like, no, he signed it away. And it's like, who said he was allowed to make these decisions? Like, or forcefully took it and killed and stole the land. And yeah, so there's a whole history there if you don't know that. That's the context of this joke. So the other part of the joke, there's someone called a fancy dancer. It's a male dance. They're usually pretty colorful and they have like these big things on their back and they dance. And the whole thing at the way the drum is, it's really quick. So they're really twirling and moving and fast and blah blah blah. And then at the end of the song, it like the beat starts to slow down. And while this beat's slowing down, they start doing like almost like poses, I guess. Now there's probably a better word for it. I'm just not thinking of it right now. So this dancer, he's dancing, right? So he's dancing, it's going crazy, it's blah, blah, blah. It starts slowing down. He starts, trying to make his big finish, right? And he does, and then right up, he gets up and he starts walking off. And the drummers start going again, so he runs back and he starts dancing again, and again it slows down, so he finally does the thing, and this time he stays there longer, because the first time he didn't stay there very long. So when it was done, the MC says this joke that I swear is so funny. He goes, "Last time I saw an Indian get deked out like that, we lost some land." And I swear to goodness, I laughed so hard at this joke. And yeah, if you know sports, you know what deking means, right? Yeah. So that's still, I think, the most funniest joke I've ever heard.